Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we've got another half-pound grab bag of world coins. I'm really excited. We go coin by coin through it, and we look for older ones, rare ones, different designs, sort of out there countries, anything that I haven't seen before. So I'm really excited to see what we can get. I'm going to pour the bag out, and we'll get started searching after a brief message from our sponsors. Before we get into this grab bag, I want to thank MA Shops for sponsoring this video. Their online marketplace, mashops.com, has a great selection of ancient US and world coins, paper money, stamps, and more. They've got a really good reputation, easy to use site, and they work with trusted dealers, so it would be a mistake to not head on over there and be aware of this awesome source for coins. Hopefully you can find something for your collection there, and with that being said, thanks to them again for sponsoring it, and let's get into the grab bag. And here we've got the start, and it looks like this is going to be Portuguese, maybe 5 escudos, 1967. And yep, we see República Portuguesa. I'm going to see if that ship has any special significance, because the one on the British halfpenny is the Golden Hind, which was sailed by Sir Francis Drake around the world. So always interesting to see if there's any more significance. Here's a French Republic 5 francs from 1949. It's aluminum, so I'm sort of curious if this was an old franc or what the situation was. I know that they revalued their francs maybe in I don't know if it was in the early 60s or late 50s, probably in the late 50s, but I'll have the info on that as well. 1966, 2 shillings here, so that would have been 2 out of 12, 2 out of 20, excuse me, so it's like 1/10 of a pound. Then we've got a German 1970 West German 2 Pfennig. This sort of oak symbol sort of is showing how Germany is emerging from their World War II self. They've planted seedlings and are going to emerge anew. This one, 5 Pfennig, I believe is going to be from East Germany, so I don't see that too often, but that was the Soviet area of East Germany, and you can see some of the more industrial-focused themes featured on their currency. But the 5 Pfennig, I think the East German mark was much weaker compared to on the exchange rate and from an inflation perspective. 1968, 20 centimes is definitely after the revaluation, where this 5 franc coin would have become 5 centimes of value. And then after that, we've got this one, which I don't know. The CX is often for King Christian X, but Denmark, it's going to be only 2 or. So I hadn't seen that denomination before, and that's the king that shares my name, so I always like those coins. Whoa, this is French Indochina, and I'll follow up with more information about where exactly French Indochina is. Maybe it's some of the Indonesia, but it also could have been a few different islands. 1939, 5 cents. République Française. Unfortunately, there's something that sort of happened to the coin, whether it's some gunk on it, but it's a really beautiful sort of older design. It's sort of a classic design, and it really has that feel. So great find there. That's a design I certainly hadn't seen before, so we've done well on that front so far. Here's a 2000 Ecuador 25 centavos coin, and I believe that they've considered tying their currency to the US dollar as well, or being dollar denominated. 2 new pence here, 1971. That's the big year when the new pound comes into effect in Britain, and their production quantities are really big for that year. 1968, we have a Greek 10 drachma coin, and that would be folded into the euro. I'm not exactly sure at what exchange rate, but 1968 still has pretty good preservation, over 50 years old at this point. And then we've got a Mexican 1 peso, 1979, really nice condition with some interesting little brownish toning, but the peso underwent revaluation, so this is no longer legal tender. It was a massive revaluation, I believe, in 1992. You find these coins that say 200 pesos, you might think you have like $10 or something, but it's really it's nothing because they're not legal tender anymore. 1944, 3 pence, Great Britain, and it's interesting sort of the longer term monetary effects, like if you're able to honor your currency since it sort of started similar to the US dollar or the pound, that's sort of been helpful. Here we have a 50 Aurora from Iceland, and in the last video I was wondering, AUR, it's like aureus, which is gold in Latin. The Latin went into Old Norse, and then the Norse was how the Icelandic arrived at their denomination, but always try to, it's fun for me to be researching these after the video more in depth than I did in previous videos, because I get to learn a ton about the world, about words, about history. So here we've got the King George V, 1912 1 penny. So the large size, I think it's 1/3 of an ounce of copper, but it sort of shows you back then, and now it's not the case anymore, but people really cared about the copper weight of their really small denominations, so that's why the penny coins are often much larger, like the large cent in the United States, compared to the silver coins. Here we've got 10 yen from Japan, similar to like 10 cents of value. I've been looking at this coin like the entire hunt, and I really want to see 1910, 1 florin or 2 shillings, so again 1/10, and we can see right here what the 2 shilling, same size basically, would look like. But this one's from Edward VII, while this one's from Queen Elizabeth II, but that is so cool. Still got really nice detail, doesn't look really cleaned up, or I mean maybe there was a cleaning, but it looks like a nice original coin, no major hits, maybe a little bit on the rim right there, but that's an it's an attractive coin. Still got a little bit of detail like in the beard, that sort of thing, and we see a very eloquent looking Britannia in a different sort of position. I've seen a lot of seated Britannia on the 1 penny coins, but this really reminds me of the 1 ounce sort of modern Britannia bullion coin. So that's a good one. I would assume it's sterling, 92.5% silver, because that's what they were making their coins in, though they would switch off based off different denominations, but near 1921 over to 50% silver. Here we see Queen Elizabeth II again, 25 cents from the East Caribbean States, 1998. I'll tell you what countries those are from, and then the Bahamas, 10 cents coin, 1980 right there. Always an interesting sort of shape. Then we've got this one of something, looks like a Turkish, I don't know if it's going to be 1 Turkish cent or 1963, or maybe it's just 1 lira and they went through a hyperinflationary period. Here's an Australian halfpenny, 1951, featuring their kangaroo. So cool. They're so abundant. Maybe there's more kangaroos than people in Australia. There's always some weird statistic like that. 2 drachma, 1957 from Greece. And this one maybe is also Turkish, 1996. 25. I don't exactly know what this is referring, what it is. So it could be one of any number of countries that has similar writing on their coinage or a similar alphabet to that. And here it looks like we've got 2 similar coins, 1943 and 55 3p from Great Britain. So that's been a big theme. A lot of British stuff. 2 drachma, also 1954 from Greece. But here's a different country. 1966, Ecuador, 20 centavos. And yeah, again, that's always fun to sort of see different evolutions within coinage. Here we see 25 centavos, and now I'm almost wondering who that is. Jose Joaquin de Olmedo. Likely, often, a lot of the South American coins feature like revolutionaries or people who really contributed to their state's formation, just like we have George Washington on the quarter and Jefferson on the dime, Lincoln on the penny, 1953, 1 shilling. So more British stuff. That's been a big theme, as well as that coin. Then let's see. We've got 1 Ein shilling with some sunflowers, it looks like, from Austria, 1980. So that is another one where I'm curious what the exchange rate into the euro was, as they're now using that currency. 1981, Trinidad and Tobago, 25 cents. So they have a larger population. I think it's like 1.3 million or something, over what I had originally anticipated theirs to be. And then here we've got, I believe this is going to be, 5 Pfennig from 1918 maybe. Certainly World War I coinage. You can see the metal. I think that would say Deutsches Reich. And that would be revalued, and shortly thereafter you'd see hyperinflation in the 1920s in Germany. Another 2 pence, 1971 again. This coin looks old. 1 real, República de Guatemala. Wow. So it says nickel there, so I think it's going to be a nickel metal, but 1910. And we see Libertad, the 15th of September, 1821, with maybe their seal or something. But I've seen it's very similar to the trade dollar. That woman is featured on some of their other coinage. So I always just think that that's an interesting comparison. After that, been eyeing this coin for a long time, and it's more from the British theme, but we've got George V here, 1916 sixpence, so that also should be 92.5% silver. That's really cool. Again, pretty good detail. This one's a little bit more worn, though you can see the major legend, the crown, the lion, but the sixpence, there would have been 240 pence in a pound, so it's like 1/40th of, 1/40th of a pound. So it's interesting. The British pound still trades, 1 pound is worth like $1.40, but if you had gone cents to pounds, like it would be 100 cents in the States versus 240 pence in Great Britain. So maybe on a cent to pence basis, we are stronger compared to the old pence. A lot of talking that doesn't really mean much. 1919 1 penny here really has been all Britain. That's been the big theme today, and that is Nigeria or British West Africa, 1908. I wonder if this is a rare coin. 1/10 of a penny. Wow, that is so cool. Edward VII, King and Emperor, and what I'm really interested in. Also, there's this Arabic writing, but the 1/10 of a penny, if there's 240 pennies or pence in a pound, this is 1/2400th, or if they had a different sort of operating system. I also am not sure. I don't think that this would be silver, but I mean, you never know. It feels more of like a nickel or, copper nickel type of composition, but I'm going to do a lot more research because I think that that's like a highlight, and it's, again, I've seen multiple designs today that I never had in the past, and that is really exciting. 1974, 2 pence or pennies or whatever, 2 cents from New Zealand. I'll try to go a little faster. 1978, 2 escudos, 50 centavos, and I'm curious on what the exchange rate is for those as well. Then we've got the Hong Kong, 10 cents. Let's see. 1932, ooh, you see a fish here. I thought that it was going to be like a modern euro that wasn't available. Whoa, 5 Pfennig, Freistadt Danzig. Whoa, I have no idea the context of this coin, and we'll be providing it for you. But another new design. Wow, this has been a really, really cool hunt in terms of seeing different coins that you often would not get a chance to observe. 1949. I'm going to be learning so much when I go back through and edit this video with all the necessary sort of comments. 1962, Bank of Philippines, 10 centavos after the U.S. occupation of the Philippines when we were producing for them. In 1929, we had a M Mint Manila opened up a mint over in the Philippines to strike coins. So we have some M Mint Mark U.S. coins that are made in the Philippines. 1984, 10 centimes from France, and then a 10 and 20 centimes from France. I want to focus on the good stuff like this. It's a Cuban 2 centavos, 1916. I believe this would have been produced by the United States as well after Cuba starts making coinage in 1915. And the mintage was reasonable on this 2 centavos. Again, not silver. I believe the 250M, it's like a fineness and maybe is for the 25% copper. But I'm curious why that 250M appears on the coin. Here we have a Trier-Stadt, so maybe the state in Germany, maybe in World War I. Let's see. 10 Stadt Kleingeldersatzmark. Trier state. So maybe it's a 10 Pfennig sort of in that hyperinflationary, or just in the World War I period where people were really looking for money to use. That is unbelievable. So cool. And I'm going to be saving this as well. Just yet another coin to really research and learn from. I'm going to save that for a little bit later. We've got a 1 penny here. We've got a 1 Groschen, 1925 from Austria. And that reminds me, it looks like the 1984 Olympic commemorative in the States, just that eagle. Really, really cool. After that, we have the República of Uruguay, 5 maybe Nuevo Pesos, 1989. 1 franc from France. Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité means it's not the Vichy French who are striking this coin, but instead the original French that lose to the Third Reich Nazi government in World War II. And so you can see that this is like resistance, or not resistance, just like the French Republic coinage, though. It's aluminum, common cheap metal used during wartime. Looks like we've got 2 Bahamas, 1915 and 14. a little back-to-back year set, so 1 cent coins. Then this coin, 10C, 1997 cents, maybe, from the Netherlands, Antilles. And hopefully I can remember this, but I want to say it's maybe Aruba. Then there was like Saint, not Miquelon, it's like Saint Martin, and maybe there's one other island that I'm forgetting, Curacao, that's involved in this Antilles, Netherlands Kingdom coinage. And then lastly, we've got a Colombian 1973 10 centavos, and then 1949 10 groschen from Austria. Also feels wartime, even though it's not, but there could have been some shortages in metal or something that led to this production. But so many. What an interesting hunt. I don't think the value today was really high, but we got 1908 Nigeria, British West Africa coin with Arabic lettering. We have maybe some World War I, presumably, state coinage. We have this interesting older Guatemalan 1910 coin. We've got these 2 British coins that are 92.5% silver among a whole host of British coins that it seemed like we saw today, and there's some other cool stuff. So thanks so much. I'll be back next week. And again, thank you to MA Shops for sponsoring this video. Thanks for bearing with me as I, have been sponsored. I really appreciate the financial support that helps me, and I think it is a good source and has really nice world coins, so it fits well for them to sponsor these videos. And I'll see you next week with the next Tuesday World Coin Search. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I've also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so you can follow me there. TreasureTownYT.com is the main channel website. Definitely give that a visit. I've got a lot of information about me up there and the channel. CoinGrabBag.com as well currently redirects there, but it's some good opportunities for very fair grab bags, both made by me and other sellers. A lot of different options, so that's a good way to support. There's also TreasureTownCoins.com. In the future, my coin dealing operation will be done out of that website. CoinMeltPrice.com for updates on the melt prices of your coins, both US and world. A lot of resources in that website. And then CoinsMetalsCards.com being developed right now as a marketplace and news source for coins, metals, cards, and collectibles in general. So I'll see you on my future videos. Looking forward to seeing you there, and hope you have a good day.